One returns home from shul or welcomes Shabbos, he should find his house orderly organized in honor of Shabbat. It is customary to spread a tablecloth, we know that. It is a custom for some to have two tablecloths. So what we do in our home, for example, we have the tablecloth and then we add a second, which is a clear plastic that goes on top, which is a second cover, and then when we're done, we just take that plastic and we put a new one. So we always have two. That's a custom. It's not. It has to be at least one tablecloth. Okay. Sharpening knives. That's very important. An aspect of respect for Shabbat is to sharpen one's knife on every Friday as a preparation for eating. That preparation is hinted in the Torah as it says, "You shall prepare that which you bring." The Hebrew word et in the verse, which serves a grammatical function and has no translation, suggests knives, as the verse says, "And they shall beat their swords into plowshares," plural form, "and they spear into pruning hooks." Sharpening the knives also contributes to domestic peace, shalom bayit. As the sages derive from the verse, "You shall know that there is peace in your tents." That this is done by sharpening the knives in order to be able to cut the Shabbat food. Skula for shalom bayit, have your husband sharpen knives on Friday. From the Torah. Preparing our body for Shabbat. How do we prepare for Shabbat? One is obligated to wash his head, bathe his entire body on Friday with hot water as a sign of respect. He should also cut his nails every Friday and his hair when necessary in order of Shabbat. It is ideal to schedule nail trimming and hair cutting on Friday in order that it's going to be apparent that that is done for Shabbat. If one has no time on Friday due to his occupation or preparations for Shabbat, then he should get a haircut on Thursday and trim his nails on Wednesday. And that's very interesting. Why Wednesday? We learn from Shulchan Aruch that it takes 3 days for the nail to grow once it's cut. So if we cut it on Thursday, say we can get our nails cut Friday, we cut it Thursday. Then the third day is going to be Thursday, Friday, Shabbos. On the third day, our nails will grow.
And it's not good.
It's not good. Therefore, we know for hair it's fine. But if you can't cut your nails Friday, then make sure you cut them Wednesday. Friday in itself is better, and that's where the mystical...
So it's good to cut your nail on Wednesday.
Either Wednesday or preferably Friday. Friday.
Nail on Friday?
Yeah. Friday in the afternoon. Specifically.
If you do Friday, it doesn't grow on Shabbat.
No.
If you do
Okay.
Thursday, it can grow on Saturday.
They
Then it's
grow
not
on the
good.
third day. They start
So
growing
it's
on
not
the
good
third
to
day.
grow on the third day.
No, not for nails.
So if you do it Wednesday, it grows on Friday.
Yes, so that's good.
I usually go Sunday.
Sunday's fine.
Sunday is fine too.
Yeah, just not Thursday.
Just not Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
And there's an example. Well, what if it's Yom Tov?
Yeah.
It's okay. So if you cut your nails on Friday but Sunday is Yom Tov, it's okay.
Ah.
It's the Shabbat.
So you should think about 3 days.
Yeah, it's always on the third day. So it's problematic when it comes to Shabbat. It's not problematic when it comes to Yom Tov.
Well, if you cut on Thursday, Yom Tov is Sunday, it's still gonna grow on Shabbat. Same thing.
We don't cut on Thursday. We try not to.
Not
Yeah.
to Wednesday or Sunday.
Or any other day, really. Just not
Wednesday,
Thursday.
Not on Thursday.
Exactly.
I never knew that.
Haircut is fine. Haircut, any day is fine. Better Shabbat just because you're really making it apparent that I'm doing it in honor of Shabbat. Going to get a haircut. I'm going to get my nails done. It's on Friday. It's apparent I'm preparing for Shabbat.
Can you cut your nail on Friday?
Yes.
But it's okay.
Yes, yes, and actually better,
But not Thursday.
not Thursday. And
Friday's better.
mystically speaking, why is it better on Friday and not specifically Friday afternoon? The closer to Shabbat, the better, really. But it's also when you can get an appointment. But it's better in afternoon. But that's the point I'm making. Why? Because throughout the week, we're going around and our nails, they grow, and the nails are not connected to the skin at certain points. They're disconnected, they grow, and that's where all the klipa, that's where all the impurities cling to. So before we enter holiness of Shabbat, we cut off all that negativity that clung to the nail
Oh.
throughout the week. So that's why it's important as closer to Shabbat as possible, so you don't pick up anything before. That's the reason, really.
The closest
The close-
afternoon. with
Afternoon,
Shabbat.
yes, it's recommended
Cut
afternoon.
your nail is okay, close to Shabbat, but it's not okay on Thursday.
Exactly. Okay. Attractive and special clothing for Shabbat. So one is required to try to provide attractive clothing for Shabbat in accordance with his means, which demonstrate respect for Shabbat. The sages derive from verse and shall honor it, not doing thy wanted ways, that one's Shabbat garments should be different than his weekday garments. One should change his garments for a more attractive one. So a lot of people have Shabbos clothes or Shabbat clothes and regular day clothes. And it goes to Shabbos shoes, regular day shoes, regular week shoes, to even the underwear and so on, like undergarments. That's for Shabbat. So people really, the more of a distinction it is, this is my Shabbos closet, this is my regular closet. These my Shabbos shoes, and we don't mix it. That really honors and separates, which is Shabbat is separated from the rest of the week. So we, in order for us to be co-creators, we gotta do what Hashem does. We separate mundane from holy. Okay. Now the extent of it, you could see it could go depending where you're holding, but it's very important to separate and distinguish. So some, for men, for example, one should have a different talis or talit for Shabbat. We know that, right? That every day praying is one talit, and for Shabbat they have a different talit. Usually they keep it at shul or they bring it. My husband brings it every Shabbos. Okay. For example, some people are particular not to wear any garment on Shabbat that they wore on the weekday, such as even belts, pants, or undergarments. After dressing in their fine clothes, you should rejoice in the coming of Shabbat like a person who is going out to receive a king, and like the person who is going out to greet a bride and a groom. And that's what our sages used to say when they go out. Come, let us go out and greet Shabbat. The queen. Hi.
Hi.
Are you recording? But perfect timing. Okay, so as
Go ahead, I'm getting tea.
okay, so it's proper to
listening.
it's proper to dress in Shabbat clothes immediately after. Oh, that's a good detail to know. So it's proper to dress in Shabbos clothes immediately after bathing. Therefore, it's good to bathe close to the beginning of Shabbat. So the closest we could push it off, like that's like the last thing we do. And then immediately dress in Shabbos clothes, Shabbat clothes. By changing clothes closer to the onset of Shabbos, he will feel that he's wearing these clothes in honor of Shabbat. So that's just an extra step to make it special. There's also it's forbidden to eat a large meal before Shabbat.
Large meal before Shabbat?
Yes. Actually, So it says
Friday?
Friday in general, not to have any large meals. People stay, well, for me, the whole Shabbat, I'm not Shabbat, Friday, I'm running around, I'm shopping, I'm preparing,
I don't
dropping
have
off kids,
time.
picking up kids,
I don't have time.
clean up. It gets busy. Fridays are busy. So for me, where was I?
It makes sense not to eat.
I just don't have time. I
Yeah.
forget to eat. So I'll have my coffee, and then sometimes I forget to have my coffee. But the morning kicks off with coffee and water, and then I'm off. And then when I come back, I'll have a bite of something, and then I'm off. And then it's like one of those days where I actually don't sit down to have a meal. And I think a lot of us are like that. Fridays, you're either cooking all day or shopping or schlepping or all together. You don't sit down to eat. And it's a good thing. On Friday, it's a good thing. It's because it says it's forbidden to eat a large meal on Shabbat. So don't starve, but
We
make
don't
sure
have
you
time.
save that appetite for the meal, for Shabbos meal. That makes it extra special. It is legally permissible to eat a small meal that one is accustomed to eat on weekdays, even close to the onset. It is a mitzvah, however, to refrain from eating such a small meal from the beginning of the 10th hour and onward.
So what time is it? Oh, the 10th hour.
The reference to the halachic variable length hour, in which the day from sunrise to sunset is divided into 12 equal length parts. So if you have a halachic time
Mm-hmm.
where it tells you for prayers, for example,
Yeah.
it tells you the earliest Shema,
Mhm.
the latest, the Mincha. So that's is based on the halachic time. 10th hour. Let's see what it says here. In the 10th hour, there's a mitzvah from eating even a small meal. Okay, so this time is halfway between midday and sunset. So sunset is what, 8 o'clock now? Right? 8
Mhm.
o'clock? Midday. So about 4 p.m.,
Mm-hmm.
right? Makes sense?
Makes sense.
So nothing, not even a small meal past 4 o'clock. As the time changes, we adjust. Okay. Travel on Friday. One who travels on Friday, although he knows that they're preparing for Shabbat, they need to be preparing for Shabbat, is required to plan his journey well. All consider possible problems that could befall, and make sure that every precaution is taken not to miss Shabbat, not to be traveling on Shabbat, not to be on the road on Shabbat. The truth is, don't travel on Shabbat. I'm sorry, not Shabbat, Friday. Do not travel Friday. If you have to absolutely catch a flight, make sure it's like a 5 o'clock a.m., 6 o'clock, 7 a.m. No, for sure not past midday. Try not to, because there's delays in airlines. There could be an accident, and the last thing you want to do is be stuck on a highway somewhere on Shabbat. It's either you're driving on Shabbat or you're transgressing. So just don't do it. See if it could be done in advance. Of course, there's always circumstances, and when that happens and you have to travel, plan accordingly. Okay, preparation for family members for Shabbat. So that is specifically something that men should do. These three points that we're going to discuss is men contribution to Shabbat. So we do separate challah. We mentioned how important it is on Shabbat to make challah ourselves, because that's what separates the bread we eat on Shabbat versus the bread we eat during the week. So during the week we go to the store and buy. On Shabbat we make. That's the difference. That makes it more special. I mean, if you don't have time to make and you work and you buy, it's fine. But it's just that extra step that is recommended if possible. And so outside of Israel, where we are, it's usually the husband or man of the house should ask whether you have separated challah.
A man should ask the wife?
Yes. That's the mitzvah actually. To
Separate the
have you
challah?
separated challah? Because then you say, yes, I separated challah.
I
So
bought
that's-
it, how can I say yes?
So they say I bought it. The store separated. Okay, so the bakeries are required to separate, by the way. When they bake,
They separate, yeah.
of course, so it's kosher
It's okay.
on all levels. Another one here is one needs to ask his household before Shabbat to light candles and to stop doing work. Since the woman, the one who lights candles, it is the man who gently says, it's time to light candles and stop doing work. Shabbos is coming and Shabbat is here. It's
But
it's a beautiful reminder that we're in this together and we're all on the same page and we're really getting ready to welcome the Shabbos Queen.
I'm always invited for Shabbat dinner, my sister-in-law's house, my husband's sister. And my husband says, let's go. I said, I'm lighting a candle. 5 minutes, I want to sit down, look at the candles. We have to go. But is it a custom to light a candle, you wait a while, then you leave the house?
You should
I-
wait.
I
You
see, yeah.
shouldn't light and leave.
Right.
You should
yeah.
wait.
You
Don't
should wait, no?
don't quote me on a time, but I would say like 18 minutes.
I feel better now you light a candle, get up.
Because technically the candle needs to burn at least 30 minutes after lighting. That's fulfilling the mitzvah. If it
Then
goes
you
out,
leave? After 30 minutes?
I mean, no, you could leave earlier than that, but you shouldn't leave right away.
No, leave it about 18 minutes.
I would say 18 minutes.
You could start Shabbat earlier, right?
Oh, can I
Yeah.
do that?
Absolutely.
They keep telling me you could do it before the time, lighting the time. I say, no, it has to be the time. But now I decide to, where I'm going dinner, I light there.
But make sure you get there before Shabbat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. But
Then
the
for sure.
timing of lighting will be on that place.
Yes, that's good.
If not, then if I light a candle, wait 18 minutes, right? Now I could do it because Shabbat is late. I go there early and then I light it there.
Hmm.
Which one is more mitzvah, to light it there or you light it at home?
If you're gonna eat there, you light it there,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
and you bring your own candle if you can.
Yeah, I do that. And some people, they say that the person whose house it says the bracha, you listen, you don't say it, but I do say it. The guest doesn't say that.
Of course you do.
Some religious one says that only that person's house says the bracha.
If they're lighting for, okay, so sometimes when women would host their cases when
Yeah.
men are staying or they may light for, I don't know what the circumstances are. The woman of the house lights and makes the bracha.
Yeah.
But shall other women come,
Yeah.
guests, and they light, they come
Yeah.
early, and they light, yes, you make your bracha.
I agree with you. My sister-in-law, she's also very religious. She says, one person says the one whose house is. But no, I said I light a candle and I say bracha too.
Of course.
The guests don't say it.
Say quietly. But you say it.
I know.
Okay, so the first one is make sure that the husband gently asks, have you separated the challah? The second one is it's time to light candles and stop doing work. And the third one is it's a mitzvah to check our pockets
Uh-huh.
every Friday afternoon close to dark to make sure that there's nothing in them which is forbidden to go out on Shabbat. To make sure there's no mokta items, no coins, no car keys, anything that is, even though we have an Erev here. And we go by it, we abide by it. If it's forbidden, it's forbidden, it's permitted, it's not necessary. If you can keep Shabbat, the best you can do it. If you don't need to carry on Shabbat, even if it's permissible with Erev, don't do it. So
But we have,
Yeah,
we have.
we are allowed to. That's how we push our strollers. That's why I bring our kids. For sure, it's allowed, and we go by it. But for example, if you don't have to, if you have an opportunity to keep it 100%, do it. Better for you.
If you don't have to push anything,
Yeah.
Or carry extra stuff.
If you don't have to carry like any electronics or like,
Oh, yeah.
but you have to carry your keys and stuff.
yeah. So in that sense, you bring it, or you have like a combo lock on your door that you don't have to bring keys, or there's ways to carry keys that it's not carrying, it's wearing. There's a will. There's loopholes everywhere.
Loopholes, yeah.
Yeah. So those are the three things, okay, that men specifically
And
need
do
to
you
do.
light a candle, put some money and coupon?
Before we light candles,
You put it?
we put in tzedakah. That's the
Has to be corn or dollar sign is okay?
whatever.
Anything,
It's
okay.
money.
Money is money.
Money is money. You put it in your tzedakah box.
I
and
do that.
Physically, it's better to do it. Some people, I do
know. Some people say.
I send charity to Israel.
I know.
But it's good to do it
As physically.
physically
as possible.
because it's
I
all
feel
really putting
accustomed to
yourself in that state. I'm about to welcome Shabbat. I'm letting go of the week. I'm welcoming the Queen. It's physical. When we do things, it matters.
I
right?
think so.
Makes a difference. Okay.
And if I light a candle, I'm going somewhere, but I light a candle before, like, time is 8 o'clock to light a candle. Can I do it like 7:45 or 7:30?
You are allowed to take Shabbos early,
Okay.
but if you do 100%. Meaning, I
But-
know I took it early, but it's still not Shabbat, so I could still
Do cleaning? No.
drive to my friend,
No.
right? Unless you specifically had the intention that I'm gonna light the candles at home. I'm just making an example. I'm gonna accept Shabbat early. It's not Shabbat yet. And then I'm gonna drive. Like, you have that intention before lighting, because when we light, that's when we accept Shabbat.
Okay.
So if you have anything, it's early enough, and you have this intention, I gotta get to somewhere, and I'm gonna drive, for example, or I need to, whatever it is. Try not to, but if
If you have
loopholes.
to, yeah.
Yeah, if it's early enough, you say, okay, I'm gonna light, but I'm not accepting it fully until that action is complete. But it has to be still before actual Shabbat starts. Okay, working on Friday. So our sages forbade full-fledged work on Friday, which is not necessary for Shabbat, starting from the time of the afternoon prayer and on. So the earliest mincha time, whatever it is in a calendar for Friday, that's when all work should stop. It's forbidden, it says here. Even if it's done without compensation. Okay? Because this is to ensure that one is free to attend to the needs of Shabbos. Nevertheless, the sages also forbade work for one who does not need to attend to the needs of Shabbat. The sages issued a decree and did not differentiate between one who needs to attend and one who does not need to attend to the Shabbat preparations. So if you're not cooking for Shabbat, if you're ordering out or you're invited to somebody's house, work has to stop. It's forbidden to continue work past mincha, early mincha time, which is, I think it's early afternoon. We can check the time, but it varies, probably like 2-3 o'clock at this point. Okay. Anyone who does work at this time will never see any sign of blessing from it. What he earns from his labor, he will lose somewhere else. However, work which is obviously being done at this time for the sake of Shabbat, such as cutting Jews' hair, like if you're a hairdresser, is allowed to do even for money, and even if it is of professional quality. So you're professional, but your work is to prepare for Shabbat. Now, there are many different professions, like here, for example, cutting hair, a hair cutter, or maybe a manicurist, or people who are helping
Doing for
others.
Shabbat?
Right.
Do you do that on Friday, not on Shabbat?
Friday.
Yeah.
Yes, Friday, sorry. If I said Shabbat, no work Shabbat. Friday. Starting the device on Friday in order that it continue to operate on Shabbat. It's very interesting. So a device that makes noise, which is typically set up on the previous day, such as an alarm clock, is permissible to set it up and prepare on Friday, even though it will sound on Shabbat. The reason is that it's not suspected of being one who transgresses the rabbinical decree of making sounds, since everyone knows that he set it up on Friday. However, one should not set up a device which makes a sound on Friday to continue operating on Shabbat, if it is not typically set up on the previous day. Such an action is considered contempt for Shabbat, since people will think the device was started on Shabbat. Okay, it's forbidden to start a washing machine close to Shabbat. We talked about laundry earlier. Such that it continues to operate on Shabbat, or a dryer. You had a laundry load, you forgot about it, and now it's Shabbat, and if you don't move it, it's gonna mold. So you could, you do it if you have time, but if you're gonna start it and it's Shabbat and it's still going to work, it's not allowed. It's forbidden. So.
You said the device, setting a device or like a children's sound machine is okay, setting it up on Friday morning?
For it to go off on Shabbat.
It's okay.
It's okay. As
Is
long
it
as it
okay?
doesn't go before.
I see. So it's okay to put like a sound machine, for example, that goes for the whole Shabbat?
Yeah. Because sound machine does not stop and go.
Right.
It's continuous flow. Just like if the light is on before Shabbat, it stays on.
Mhm.
We don't turn it off.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This part.
But people have their lights on a timer.
Yeah, the timers are programmed. And that's
Right.
fine, because we're not physically switching
So
anything.
you can program anything that you want then. So
Yeah.
why couldn't you program the sound machine or
Yeah, if you
the
can.
dryer or whatever? I mean, technically
Because the dryer stops.
you could program anything you wanted. It doesn't have to only be a light.
If you programmed it, yes. But it has to be programmed on before Shabbat. If it has to work on Shabbat, like alarm clock, you set it up Friday because you need to be up early Shabbat. So it's okay. Right? The lights, smart lights, are set up before Shabbat.
But if I want to dry my clothes before Shabbat, I
Yeah.
pop them in and turn it on, and then it stops during Shabbat. So why is that not permissible?
Because
You
it's
could
working.
have a light on a timer.
But when you open the door to get the laundry out,
No, you can leave it there as long as it's. I'm just like if you didn't have if it needs to get dry because it'll be moldy. I mean, you could just turn anything on before Shabbat.
the concern specifically here is that it will make a sound and disgrace holiness on Shabbat.
But the sound machine also makes a sound.
Yes, but that's what's set up before.
And so was the dryer.
The sound that I'm referring to is when the machine is done and it goes doo 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 or something. It makes a sound. That's the sound we're
that
talking
sound.
about. Yes, not the sound. Okay.
Okay. I don't know how
Thanks
did
for
they
the sound
come-
effects.
They didn't even have these machines when they wrote this.
Is it also the concept of like certain things are more Shabbistic,
Yeah.
like to honor the Shabbat clean? It's like laundry feels like work, you know?
But you're doing it before Shabbat though.
But
You're
it's
not
still
doing
like,
it.
it's not like a Shabbos ambiance for like the machine to be going.
We talked actually about it, about laundry earlier, and laundry should be done Thursday. Unless it's absolute, we don't even do it Friday at all. Unless it's some absolute emergency that it has to get done, don't even start it Friday. Wait till Motzei Shabbos. Wait till Sunday. Does it have to be done Friday? Like, no, it doesn't. I mean, it's a weekend. You're going to, like, you know, it could wait.
Right,
It could
true,
wait.
but-
So Thursday, if you gotta do laundry, do Thursday so you don't set yourself up to have to transfer anything before Shabbat and think about the sound going off or anything like that.
Or do it Friday morning.
Or Friday
Before
morning
o'clock.
early, if you have to, but
It's preferable in the morning.
Friday
Start at
specifically,
morning until 12 o'clock you're done.
yeah, but Friday has to be more focused on Shabbos prep. So all the laundry, the cleaning, don't worry about that. That has to be done before. If you have
Thursday.
yeah, Thursdays for that. Shopping, do it Thursday if you have to cook. That we talked about it, but if you have to cook food, anything that needs preparation, we buy it Thursday. We don't buy it Friday because that's already putting too much pressure. Anything for Friday, if we're going to buy cake, cookies, anything that's prepared, good to go. We could buy it Friday. If it requires preparation, Thursday or before. Okay. Starting with device, we talked about that. Okay, likewise, it's forbidden on Friday to start a radio or a tape player, you see how old this book is. Even with a timer, because they make sounds and disgrace the Shabbat. Likewise, it is forbidden to set up a recording device on Friday for the purpose of recording Jews. So, no recordings, video recordings or anything like that. Something pops up. So right now, a lot of people have recordings in their house, like cameras, right, that are constantly operating. So, from when we used to have, we would turn it off on Friday. Like, we wouldn't have it running on Shabbat. And then turn it back on.
But what's the halacha behind that? I don't know where they could, like, I don't know if there's one of the Lametet Malachot, or like, do not have a recording device that you turned on.
And see, we just started. We're going to get through all of that. These are amazing questions. So we're going to go through the base malachet and derivatives, and we're going to go through rabbinicals, and we're going to really debuckle this. By the time we're done with this book, you're going to be a Shabbos pro.
Shabbos Pro.
Yes. Shabbos Pro Max.
Yeah. Great.
Right, so it's just the beginning. Right now we're focusing on preparation. How do we prepare? We haven't even started Shabbat yet. Keeping Shabbat is a whole different story, and we'll start with it next class, but right now we're just, what do we do? How do we prepare before we enter? And so leaving food on fire on Friday. One who places food on the exposed fire before Shabbat must ascertain that by nightfall, the dish will be at least half cooked. So that is specifically referring to cholent or any of the electric cooking devices that are running all night and to keep the food hot. The food has to be at least half cooked by nightfall in order for it to be sufficiently cooked the following day. Because if it's not, then the next day comes and the food is not ready, we might be urged to play with the fire to increase the heat because it's not ready, the guests are coming. it's setting us up for failure. So in that sense, make sure that it's at least half cooked, preferably fully cooked. What I do is it's cooked and I keep it on warm. It's not cooking anything past Shabbat, because one, it could get burnt, overcooked, dried. I have it cooked and it just stays on warm. Okay, next. If one wants to leave food on fire in any state in order that it continues cooking in Shabbat, he should cover the fire so that it's not exposed. This change will create a reminder to a person that today is Shabbat and it's forbidden to increase the fire. Therefore, one who places food on gas stove should cover the fire with aluminum sheet called blech. You know, these metal plates that go on top of the stove. Ideally, black should also cover the knobs. So you know these black, they have one side that goes up. It should be covering the knobs to prevent us or our kids accidentally twisting, turning things they're not supposed to. Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
How do you manage your time with your kids and doing this? I give you a lot of credit.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Baruch Hashem. Hashem's help.
You have a helper?
I have Hashem.
I know, it's not easy. I had my only one son I raised. I couldn't be everywhere. I didn't work. I couldn't do this. At night, my time was with him.
My kids are sleeping already. The bedtime is 7:30, 8.
They sleep.
Yeah.
My son wouldn't sleep till 10 o'clock.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
no,
my
no,
kids
no,
never
no.
slept at 7:30.
Oh, no. Even my 13-year-old, when he's here, 8 o'clock is bedtime. All year round.
Wow.
Well, except for Shabbat, Motzei Shabbat, because
What
Shabbat
about
ends
your,
later.
your daughter? She doesn't take the 3. How old is the youngest one?
3.
Doesn't she take nap?
So, in camp they don't right now. So she's exhausted. She falls asleep at 6:30. So she's the first one in bed.
Oh, they don't put him in nap?
No, I guess not. Maybe because it's a shorter time. During school year they might, but camp is not as long as a school day.
No, camp is exhausted with 3.
But it's also very exhausting because they do swimming and they go on
Uh-huh.
trips and they're active and
For
playground.
3 years old?
She's tired. When she comes home
Oh,
after
I
camp,
believe so.
she's done. She's eating and
Swim.
5:30, 6 o'clock, she's already sleeping.
Jesus. Motic.
She's Motic, yes. Yeah, today
What's
she
her
fell asleep.
name?
Hannah.
Hannah, my mom's name is Hannah.
Yeah.
Was it Hannah?
That's the baby or the
The baby
baby.
one. She's 3 years old and
Yeah, the
she's
baby.
so
The
cute.
baby ones? Yeah, they're all cute.
She's very cute. She's
Yeah.
they're all cute.
And the older ones by 7:30, they're tired. They're tired. They're so busy.
What time do you wake them up?
They get up by themselves at 7 because they go to sleep early.
Yeah.
So by 7, they're up, they're dressed, they're ready.
How old is
They're
the
having
old-
breakfast.
How old is the oldest one?
9.
And there is a babysitter at home?
My husband's there.
Oh, okay.
And she has an older son.
And before that, my mom was here for a few weeks. Yeah. She
You
came.
remember mom went back?
She went back today.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay, we're almost done.